today's assignment, what we want to do is we want to take a look at a web page and web page design, and to show the power of having your own web page and what it can do for you. And what I want to show you is a web page that I created about could be 12 years ago. Maybe before that, before I even came here, I had it already. Using front page, and many of you already have a web page. Some of you do not. So what I want to do is I just want to show you what can get done if you do have a web page. And typically, my website is not open to the public, only to my students. And when my AP students go to their web page, this is what they see. Okay. And what you can typically do is you have a home page, which is a calendar. And what I have on my web page is just, cute flash artsy fartsy things just to catch students' attentions. I have on here 23 years worth of work saved. What I did is I organized. I have a table of contents where the students can click, and they can actually. I have downloaded material from one of my colleagues who allowed me to do this. Have every single vocabulary word, indexed in chemistry on the site, so they can just go from unit to unit and look up what the definitions of the words are. I have a set of resources that I constantly go to when I'm designing my web page. I have Word documents, interactive homework assignments. If I click this, textbook 9th edition, it brings me to a site that I can actually assign homework from. The Problem Solving Center, which I can assign students homework from, and it actually grades the homework and emails me the results of the homework. I have all the months of the year saved on here, so if a student had to go back to review, they can actually go back to the month of November, and they would get the web page in the month of November that they can actually go back and see what was assigned on what days. This is really my calendar, my lesson plan calendar for me. What are the things I'm going to cover on each of the days? What am I assigning students for homework? All goes on the web page. So these are all links going to specific sites. Some of them, they actually go to things called pencasts, which are kind of like YouTube lessons. These are live scribes. What I do is I have a special pen and pad that I can actually write a lesson and then save it on there, kind of like the smartboard technology that I just showed you, that you can actually record from your smartboard. They can actually view and you can actually pick a point. You can actually pick a point in the lesson at any moment to view what was discussed. Again, those are linked on my website, and you can see that those were live lessons from a class that I taught actually a few years ago that I saved. These are lessons that I always go through, and type of which I think are really great lessons on specific topics that I save. And then when I know that's a lesson that I'm going to do every year that I know is a good lesson, I usually will record it and save it so that the students can refer back to that lesson. Then on the web page, you'll find all kinds of PDF files that are handouts that we use in class that the students have access to. So for those types of labs, activities that we do, copies of those labs and labs activities. Once you establish the site, you can do virtually anything. You can put up practice multiple choice questions. You could even design your own quiz pages that they basically you put up a Word file that you convert to an HTML file, and you could have the students answer the questions on the page, and then the results of their answers would be sent to you. Um, that can be also done once you have your own web program. And we're in the process of trying to get web expressions for everyone to use so that they can design their own website. And you can see, like, for each of the days that I have here, there's Word documents. There are naming tutorials. Like, let's say, for example, I found a tutorial that I feel is a great homework site. I could easily link it to my website, and the students are on their way to do those homework problems related to that, like naming alkanes or whatever. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the power of having your own web page. What it does for me, it basically is my lesson plan for the month. So it actually forces me to plan out the month, and the students know way ahead of time where the week the test is going to take place. They know ahead of time where quiz is going to take place. So it forces me to be organized. I also, for my AP group, because of the pressure of the course, I even have this piece in the web page where they can send me a question that directly goes to my email or to my cell phone. That records it. So if there's an issue about a homework problem, whatever, if it's a simple issue to answer, I could just email them immediately from my phone. That is a little too much for, let's say, a Regents level class, but for an AP chemistry class, unfortunately, because of the pressure of the exam, I do provide that service. I also, on my webpage, you'll see there are online texts that I refer to. There's also a column that says this week's labs, so the kids know what labs we'll be doing that week, and they have copies of the labs ahead of time. And they also, at the end of the calendar, you'll also see it says what topics we'll be covering, and I usually place any answer keys to homeworks in that column also sometimes. There is also these links that I was discussing before, homeworks, where it brings them to another site, which will give them questions on chapter reading that I assigned. It turns out that our textbook provides this service, which is great, which forces the kids to basically do their reading and homework assignment, and that's how I collect the homework. I don't stop class to take a look at the homework. It's all done via email and via internet. So it's a really powerful tool. So if you have your own web page, it makes life really simple. I don't like the district's e-chalk because it limits what you can do. Once you have your own web page, you can virtually do anything you want. The thing is, you have to have space, server space. So I pay $200 a year to have a tremendous amount of space on the internet that I run my whole consulting business. Part of that space I use for the AP chemistry, honors chemistry, and Regents chemistry site that I use at school. So when I give them the login, they're actually logging into my server site, which allows them to go into the school site. But again, I'm in complete control. All the students have their own user ID and password, but I own the property on the site. So that's what great things you can do with your own web page. So hopefully we'll get you a copy of a program called Web Expressions 3, which is very similar to Front Page. Front Page no longer is supported by Microsoft, but if you have a Front Page web page ready, you can actually download it or upload it into Web Expressions and then put it back on the site, and you'll have the up-to-date security features that web pages typically would have, and it's really easy to use Web Expressions. I was going to try to get it and then show you some tricks on how to start up your web page. Hopefully we'll get that before the course ends so you guys get to use it.